not realistic this year. So I'm guessing that's going to be something that, I mean, not that we probably didn't know that, not that Governor Noem doesn't know that too, but he's probably just waiting for the right time to come out and say that. But my guess is that's where we're all headed here for this as well. And looking beyond that, listening to her talk this week, it's probably on one hand a good thing when she says things like, we're going to spread this out till July or August before we see any sort of peak here in South Dakota. But that we're thinking about registration on August 6th or something like that in school on August 9th. So I'm hopeful that things develop a little. Keeps everybody safe, but still develops a little bit quicker than that so that we can see the other side. Let me know of anything that you want or have some thoughts on anything that we talked about after the meeting. Email me. I'll update you on communications that I have out with families or whatnot today as well, so that we have an idea and a good understanding of timelines and things like that. So as far as work be ready for other kids or whatever. So all right. Thanks again, everybody. Talk to everyone soon.
It doesn't do any good to do name calling or armchair quarterbacking or questioning what someone's wearing in a press. I mean, it's ridiculous. We need civility. We don't do that in Sioux Falls. We're better than that. We're better than that in the state. And so I would ask that you don't point out problems. Look for solutions. Okay? Be positive. Positivity will get us through this.
You got it. Positivity, baby. Positivity.
Important in times like this,
I like that, Mayor.
Issues are somewhat
gloves to wear at work. Tasha Radel reporting.
Many people got stuck overnight in deep snow in and around Fargo Moorhead. The driver of one car found herself stuck on the rails of a crossing in downtown Moorhead.
Who knows, Kai? This could be our last snow. Let me kick it. Go get it. This is entertainment. Whoa. Try it again. Denied. Here we go again. Ooh. Sliding. Good Kai. Good Kai.
Every single one of us here in Minnesota and throughout the country fulfills our responsibility. And right now, our responsibility is to practice as much physical distancing as humanly possible. And that does not mean that everybody is in the same position to do so, and I recognize that. But to the best of our abilities, if we practice, there's not an expert in the entire world who can tell us right now when that will be and whether or not we might see a resurgence in the virus sometime later this year. So that's why I'm a proponent of allocating as many resources as humanly possible and necessary to ensure that a vaccine is developed as soon as possible, that treatment protocols are established and distributed, not just around the country.
Workers in the hardest hit areas say they are not getting what they need from the federal government.
We've gotten some out of the federal stockpile in terms of ventilators and personal protective equipment, but not nearly as much as we need.
New Jersey Governor Democrat Phil Murphy told NPR this morning he is grateful for what his state has gotten, but it's not enough.
We need the feds to step up and continue to step up.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, also a Democrat, says the federal government can't even begin to meet the need for critical supplies.
The federal government does not have enough material to sit there and say, whatever you need, I can get you. Don't worry, California. Don't worry, Michigan. Don't worry, New York. Don't worry, Florida. They can't.
But President Trump has said time and time again the federal government is delivering what states need.
I think that everybody would have to be thrilled with the way most states are doing. Thrilled. The flatline state.
Like, I know the local Irish pub had a huge blowout on St. Patrick's Day. Which was a little horrifying.
Even still, the toilet paper aisle of her local grocery store was empty.
There's no toilet paper. For sure, there's no toilet paper.
Spearfish, South Dakota.
Pandemic panic struck first.
I think people are choosing toilet paper to hoard just because of fear.
Willie Shee teaches on supply chain management and manufacturing at Harvard Business School. He says that stocking up on staple goods is perfectly rational, but that in the case of toilet paper, many consumers have overcompensated, sometimes buying several years' worth of supply. And that's collided with a supply chain built for stable demand.
It's not like the holiday season you use more toilet paper, or for birthday celebrations you use more toilet paper. You know, toilet paper demand is proportional to how many people are in the population.
And to be fair to panicked consumers, coronavirus may not change how much toilet paper we actually use, but it has shifted where we use it. Widespread closures of schools and workplaces mean that all the toilet paper that would be going to work-time bathroom breaks is now getting soaked up by consumer demand. But that's still not enough to justify buying a year's supply.
COVID-19 has claimed the lives of nearly 7,000 people here in America. We're going to spend some time today on how we got to this point and ask some hard questions. So slow to take the coronavirus seriously, to grasp that it could wreck the economy, our healthcare system, our daily lives. To the World Health Organization,
December 31st.
Cases in the city of Wuhan. The following week, Chinese authorities identified the virus behind it.
Virus that includes SARS.
By then, dozens of people were sick. Here in the U.S., the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued an alert, told healthcare providers. This gets to the delicate balancing act that officials were trying to navigate, says Margaret Hamburg, a doctor I also reached out to this week because she has worn many public health hats over.
It was said that the risk was low in mid-January that by the CDC that Americans really didn't have to worry about it.
It's going to all work out. Everybody has to be calm. It's all going to work out.
And then, 8 days later,
I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words.
That was Friday, March 13th, nearly 8 weeks after President Trump announced 15 days of social distancing to stop the spread, avoid travel, avoid groups, no more hanging out at bars or restaurants. This week, Trump extended those guidelines through the end of April. Harvard's Mark Lipsitch. New infections are being confirmed here in the United States every day. At the White House, flanked by his top scientific advisors, President Trump acknowledged this week just how high the death toll could go, 100,000 to 240,000. That is with stay-at-home measures in place. 240,000 Americans dead. The White House says that is the best-case scenario.
It's very hard to find people who have gotten that.
It's not a problem that business owners necessarily blame the banks for either. Alexandra Mason runs a marketing consultancy.
90 days ago, 3 short months, it was $2.60. Lots of meetings are happening to talk about that price.
$1.91 for gas is the national average. That's changed in over a month.
Controllers are going to talk about a supply cut, but really, it ain't supply that's the issue here.
Where some coronavirus travel restrictions are being lifted, most people in the world are not moving. And oil, of course, is for moving. Analysts think that world demand for heat of that. Oil producers are trying to respond with the meetings at the White House and meetings at OPEC on Monday. But oil supply is not the main story to Sarah.